In 2007, Kenya was on the brink of collapse. A disputed election had sparked widespread violence, leaving over 1,000 dead and 500,000 displaced. The world watched as one of Africa's most stable nations teetered on the edge of civil war. Enter Kofi Annan, the former UN Secretary-General, whose diplomatic genius would save Kenya from itself. This is the story of how one man brokered peace in a nation on fire. The crisis began with Kenya's 2007 presidential election. Incumbent Mwai Kibaki was declared the winner, but opposition leader Raila Odinga cried foul, alleging vote rigging. What followed was chaos, ethnic violence, mass protests, and a breakdown of law and order. The international community knew immediate action was needed, and Kofi Annan was called in to lead the mediation efforts.
We have not come with a solution. We are here to insist on a solution for the sake of Kenya and its people.
Annan's approach was masterful. He assembled a team of eminent African leaders, including Benjamin Mkapa of Tanzania and Graça Machel of Mozambique, to form the African Union panel of eminent African personalities. Together, they pressured both sides to come to the negotiating table. Annan's strategy was twofold. Immediate ceasefire. He brokered a temporary truce to stop the violence. Power-sharing agreement. He proposed a grand coalition government, with Kibaki as president and Raila as prime minister. Annan's calm demeanor and unwavering resolve earned him the trust of both sides. He famously said, "There can be no peace without justice, and no justice without peace." After weeks of intense negotiations, the National Accord and Reconciliation Act was signed on February 28, 2008. The agreement not only ended the violence but also laid the groundwork for long-term reforms, including a new constitution. Kofi Annan's role in this process cannot be overstated. His ability to navigate Kenya's complex political landscape and bring warring factions together was nothing short of extraordinary. Kenya's recovery was slow, but Annan's intervention had saved countless lives and preserved the nation's unity.
Today we have reached an important stage in the post. But the journey is far from over. In fact, it is only beginning. The real challenge now is for President Kibaki and Honorable Raila Odinga to work together to heal and reconcile this nation.
Kofi Annan's mediation in Kenya offers valuable lessons for diplomacy. Neutrality is key. Annan's impartiality earned him the trust of both sides. Patience and persistence, peace takes time, and Annan never gave up. Regional involvement, by involving African leaders, Annan ensured the solution was homegrown. Annan's legacy in Kenya is a testament to the power of diplomacy in resolving even the most intractable conflicts. Kofi Annan's role in ending Kenya's post-election violence is a shining example of how diplomacy can save nations from the brink of disaster. What do you think about his approach? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more stories about diplomacy and global affairs. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.